and to see what the international press is saying about that superstorm Sandy. I'm now joined in the studio by Florence Filomeno. Hello.
Hi, Claire.
Florence, so what have you got to start off with them?
Well, Sandy is grabbing a lot of attention across the board in the world today, and especially in the U.S. press. It's on a lot of front pages. It's on the front page, for instance, of the Wall Street Journal. Asia, it says the storm puts much of the U.S. to a standstill, and there you see a photo of Manhattan that's taken from a Sinatra Park, so that's on the other side of the Hudson River in New Jersey. It's also on the front page of The Guardian today. There's a photo, an eerie photo of a tugboat in front of the Statue of Liberty there, and it says, "At nature's liberty," so at the mercy of nature, I guess you could say. A lot of newspapers also are having live streaming on their websites. For instance, the New York Times has live coverage, so you can pretty much follow the storm live. They have a very impressive photo gallery. For instance, there you see a photo of a man hanging onto a fence just trying to make his way across Manhattan. The Washington Post also has a series of very impressive photos. It says that Sandy has swamped New York, and there you see a photo of water that's flooding the Ground Zero construction site. There's also an impressive photo on their website of a parking garage that's completely flooded. There you see the cars. They're completely submerged in water. Now, on top of traditional media, a lot of social websites such as Facebook and Twitter are also really flooded, I guess you could say, with Sandy's coverage. Popular hashtags on Twitter, for instance, are Sandy or Frankenstorm, as it's been dubbed by the U.S. media. Now, according to the New York Times, 10 photos a second are being uploaded onto the website Instagram, and there you see, for instance, a photo of a carousel in Brooklyn that's still lit up, but among flood waters. And there's also, on top of all the coverage that's coming out of New York City, there's obviously been a lot of damage in other parts of the United States, a lot of damage in New Jersey, for instance, especially in Atlantic City. The Huffington Post says that pretty much the whole city is underwater. They've got a lot of photos of that, and they say that the city's famous steel pier part of it has been washed away. Now that actually is a photo of what's going on in New York City. That is Atlantic City there.
And we're going to stay or go back to New York City because there's one story that's really grabbing a lot of attention online, and that's the evacuation of more than 200 patients from a hospital.
That's right. This is one story that has gained a lot of interest on Twitter, for instance. Now, 200 patients were evacuated when the power went out because basically the backup generator also went down, so these patients had to be evacuated. Here's, for instance, someone on Twitter saying that her prayers go out to the NYU hospital patients and nurses. Nurses were carrying babies down 9 flights of stairs in the dark, so that's getting a lot of attention. A lot of photos also on the New York Times website, for instance, that we see people being evacuated in ambulances. Now, another story coming out of New York City that's getting a lot of attention is this facade of a building that was blown off in the Chelsea district. I found a video on YouTube where you can actually see it when it happens. Just there it is. You see that debris you see there is the facade of the building that's just being blown off by strong winds.
It is incredible. So we're seeing some amazing footage, some incredible photos, but there are some fake photos out there as well.
That's right, there are some fake photos. And in fact, there were a lot of fake photos before the storm even hit. It seemed like people wanted to amp up the apocalyptic nature of the storm. For instance, there's a photo on, a lot of these are on Instagram, there's a photo of menacing clouds over Manhattan that really make you think that, that is the storm, but you have to be careful. It's just a Photoshop version. There you see it. There's also a photo going around of a McDonald's that's underwater, but that's actually just a screen grab from a film in 2009. There you see it. And this one I thought was pretty silly. It's a photo supposedly of the subway in New Jersey where you see a bunch of sharks swimming around in the water there. And there's an interesting article in Slate that points out just how hard it is to know what's going on given the storm chaos. It says that it's really hard to follow on Twitter what's going on because there will be sometimes reports that, something has happened, and then reports 3 seconds later to say that didn't happen. For instance, there were reports that the New York Stock Exchange was under 3 feet of water, and then witnesses said, no, that's not the case. So according to this article in Slate, perhaps the best source right now is YouTube because it's harder to doctor up videos.
Okay, now, of course, all of this is happening just a week before Election Day. Barack Obama and Mitt Romney both cancelling appearances. What's the press saying about that?
Well, let's take a look at The Independent. There's a cartoon that I think sums up the situation, at least for Barack Obama. He's nailed himself to the White House, and he's saying, I'm not worried about Hurricane Sandy, but it seems like Mitt Romney is what he's really worried about. Question is, with such a tight race and 1 week to go, what could the impact actually be?
All right, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much, Florence Vimino, for that.